Morning. I wanted to talk about something that, for whatever reasons, I woke up this morning, had a little bit of a headache. And of course, I've still been working on this congestion in my lungs. And I asked Spirit to help me understand what I need to do for myself. And I got that I need to do ashwagandha, which I do ashwagandha tea. And I think I'm just going to use more ashwagandha tea because it's actually ashwagandha, a plant that's readily available, is something that helps with headaches. It's something that it helps with rest. It helps with inflammation. For people who are into divination, it's another really good plant for assisting the third eye, for keeping the duff off of it, if you will, and keeping your ability to see open. So I got up this morning and I got the ashwagandha card, which I regularly read myself, so if that seems a little different, I don't know that it is. I think that's how we learn. We learn to read ourselves, and then when we're good at reading ourselves, then that's something that we can extend to others, and it's more meaningful that way because, well, we've been practicing it for some time, and we understand it not only on some surface level, but on some deeper personal level as well. So I'm a firm believer in practicing the arts that I speak. And as you know on this channel, that I am a stage 4 thyroid cancer patient, and that I have a good deal of problems. My thyroid grew in the form of like an octopus. It was called a hyperplastic tumor. And I had an ablation done to quiet my thyroid and send me to La La Land prescription world. And that caused this tumor to just take off. It just blew up. And it attached to underneath my right lymph node, and apparently as well to my cervical node on the left in the back. And so when it took off, I mean, when the thyroid levels started really going up, was I had pain in my nerves in my neck where now the tumor was pressing on the nerves, and it was just, oh my goodness, painful, crazy painful. So I'm not asking you to listen to me based upon something I think I know. I'm asking you to listen to me based upon something I do know. I work hard for this whole process of understanding, and I think I have my entire life. Now, there was an herb I brought up the other day, and I'm going to just go ahead and put this right into this part of this podcast because I think it's so important, and I'm hearing people say I'm nervous about the vaccines. I'm nervous about what injury it has caused. And trust me, it has caused injury. They cause injury. Now, do they cause injury to everyone? I really don't know. I know that I would not get one, and I'm really grateful for that. And for those who have, I'm working very hard, again, for personal reasons, for people I love that have gotten them and that are having issues. Jargon Sacha. Look it up. JERGON SACHA. Available on Amazon. Very, very important. I don't want to go into why I see this because I think this podcast would get taken down, and I'd rather you have this information available to you. I have done a podcast on this that refers you back to this medicine and why. But again, I don't recommend based upon some simple thoughts. I spend a lot of time being in contact with spirit before I really say much because I don't want to mislead or harm. Do no harm. That is where I'm at. Do no harm. And I realize that's the ethos of medicine. I'm not sure what happened to medicine, and I'm sure that there's a lot of good people in medicine that meant well. But medicine is turned into something I don't recognize, and I wouldn't use it in the sense of the way it's being practiced for anything. The first time I was ablated was one thing. The second time I was ablated before the surgery, again, was another. Needed to happen so that they could actually work on me without the tumor going even harder. But the truth is that it was medicine that put me in this mess. And it isn't going to be medicine that gets me out of it. Now, I want to talk about a little bit more in the terms of Saturn is getting ready to roll. It's in the higher degrees of Aquarius, and it is getting ready to roll into Pisces. Now, I want everybody to consider that the great taskmaster that's in air right now could be responsible for some of the congestion, because in the latter degrees, it's kind of exerting its pressures and its powers, right? And then I suspect when it rolls on into Pisces, that those who do not get cleared up are going to have significant issues. So again, I would really like for you to consider some alternatives for yourself. For instance, mullein is a good one for your lungs right now. Most of us have a little bit of yuck in our lungs and just can't quite get rid of it. Mullein. Go ahead and use mullein tea, mullein drops. I have all the above. I use it all the time because I just can't quite bring it up. And it's starting to break up now, which is good because I was able to talk for a few minutes without it kind of, cropping up. And how much of this could be that we're not supposed to talk about this stuff. So my throat gets kind of yucky. And it's telling me, you're not supposed to do that. So yeah, I don't know, but I know that I'm no longer willing to be compliant in this sense because they're not helping us. They are not helping us. They don't know how to help us. They don't know what medicine really is. And medicine, my friends, is something that is in the ground. It is natural. And for everything we can have wrong with us, we're a self-repairing machine. And they have taught us that we're not, that we need to go in every single time and cry and yell and get some kind of pill for it. And that's just not right. It's not true. And they've made billions off of us. They've turned us into slaves for medicine, drug addicts on the streets, homeless. Don't underestimate the power of those drugs and what they've done to us as humans. And with that, I'd like you to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Join me on my YouTube channel. And I have one other little thing to say. If you think things aren't resource intensive and we're not heading in a funny direction, right now, this is my lighting. And you might wonder why am I using lanterns? Well, we have in Hawaii for the citizens, not for the hotels, not for the wealthy, a lights out policy right now because electricity is not all that available on the island. So again, when you think you want to move here and you think it's just going to be a walk in the park and no problem, think again. No, if you are not wealthy, this island will treat you kind of not so nice because, well, not because it's not a nice place, but because it's not exactly easy here, and the wealthy rule. And they're not nice. They are not nice. All right. With that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments and go to my YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Leave comments, leave comments, leave comments. And please do book a reading as my finances are going to be hit hard as soon as dude decides that, I'm even less important than I already seem to be to him. So thank you so much for joining me here.